Plaintiff Kristen Harper says after she started dating the defendant, she realized he was a liar, and she claims he even lied about having cancer. Kristen claims they eventually went their separate ways because he refused to commit to her, and she's suing him today for rent, a security deposit, and a pet deposit. Defendant Cecil Elliott insists he was diagnosed with cancer, and after the initial diagnosis, his follow-up blood work came back negative, but he never lied about anything. Cecil claims Kristen is suing for more than he owes.
Start with you.
Okay. I met Cecil back in September of last year. We met at a bar, kind of flirted, hit things off. I told him I was a professional photographer. He told me he was trying to be a model. Kind of bonded over that. We lost touch, and we're both in separate relationships at that time. So in beginning of January, we came back together after having both broken up with our significant others, and we bonded over our mutual heartache.
You both coincidentally broke up with your significant others.
At different times.
Yeah, so happened within 3 months.
Yes. So we became pretty close after that. I'm not actually totally for sure what his story with his heartache was. I want to preface the whole
She was cheating on me.
story.
Okay, that was your heartache.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe the same
What was your heartache?
I was being cheated on as well.
Okay. So just so happened. Around the same time she caught her man cheating, you caught your woman cheating. And y'all ended up together. Total coincidence. Go ahead.
I want to preface this whole thing that I've learned a lot of lies. I really don't know all of what I have to tell you from what he's told me.
Give me another story. I'll
honest.
help you out here. Go ahead. What else he say?
He claims that he was in the military for a short amount of time, which I found out was not true because I have a current
Tell me
boyfriend.
what you don't know is true or not. Now I'll help you out there.
After I moved out, he tried to tell me that he needed money for his dog that wasn't actually injured as awfully as he claimed he was. He also claims he has cancer.
Oh, that's terrible.
I have found out.
Is that true, sir?
I had a lump removed from my left armpit, and the test came back as cancerous.
And then he tried to claim that it went away and that he got some blood results back and that he had cancer again. And
is that true?
My test results came back negative. Every blood test that I've had has come back negative.
Did you tell her what she's alleging?
I did not tell her that it came back.
All right.
So when we started things in January, told each other we were attracted to each other in February, and in March we decided to move to Oregon together. We were both residing in Kansas at the time.
At our parents' houses.
Yes.
Skip town, as it would.
Yes.
Elope.
Go ahead. Elope. Didn't marry, though. But go ahead.
So we traveled together. We lived out of the back of my car for a short period, getting out to the West Coast, slept on some people's couches. And during that time is when I tried to make things official with him. I told him I was falling for him and that I wanted a relationship. And that's when the I have cancer came out. And he told me he only had probably a couple years to live and that he couldn't be in a relationship with me because he couldn't do that to somebody. That made me care for him even more than I already did. So we ended up in Portland and we moved in together in mid-April. We got a studio apartment together and still things weren't official. So at the beginning of May, I tried one more time. I said, this is it. We are officially something or we're not, and we're friends and we need space. This time he actually agreed to try something with me. He agreed that we would try to be something official, but he was weird with me. Sometimes we'd get along great. We'd have fun. We'd have these play wrestle fights and that turned into sex. And then there'd be times where he would completely ignore me. He'd come home from work and he'd sit on the couch and I wouldn't exist.
Did you ever say you're acting different?
I did.
What did he say?
I tried to talk to him about it and he just said, I need some time.
And he told you earlier that he didn't want a relationship.
Correct.
But then you come back to him.
Because we were
2 months later.
We were in a studio apartment sleeping in the same bed.
I understand all that, ma'am, but he had told you he didn't want it. You should have put him out. Whatever you did after that, you should have did it the first time.
Probably.
Go ahead. Let me hear your side. That's enough, ma'am. Let me get his side, and then we'll go into the rent and security deposits. Sir?
Okay. when we hit it off in the bar, we were talking about nerdy things. It ranged from Pokemon to Star Wars to Star Trek, and she was like, I am the biggest Star Trek fan ever, and I was like, no, you're not. I am. And I proceeded to lift up my shirt, and I showed her my Star Trek tattoo that I have, and she's like, oh man. And we talked for hours about Star Trek and the future of humanity. And
Didn't speak
like
again into January?
Correct.
All right, and that's when you all began your affair? How did that go? Or your relationship, or whatever you referred to it as?
The relationship was absolutely fine. Like, we were fine. We were, like, perfect. I had no complaints.
I know you didn't have any complaints, but I don't know if you heard her. She said she had complaints. Did she ever complain to you?
She had informed me that she wanted to make things official, whereas we had
And
talked.
what was your response?
My response was, I don't want to put a label on it.
Good
because-
enough. And did she come back later and ask you?
Correct.
And what was your response then?
I was like, what's changed now?
Right. And what did she say?
She's like, let's put a label on it. I need to know for sure
did you?
what this is. And I said, yeah, okay, let's call it we're trying something.
Okay.
I think
Good enough.
those were the
All
words.
right. I'm telling. See, when you pressure a man, he gonna spin you, as you would say.
He also claims he has cancer.
Oh, that's
Which-
terrible.
I have found out.
Is that true, sir?
I had a lump removed from my left armpit, and the test came back as cancerous.
And then he tried to claim that it went away and that he got some blood results back and that he had cancer again.
Plaintiff Kristen Harper says after she started dating the defendant, she realized he was a liar, and she claims he even lied about having cancer.
Let me ask, did you ever use the defense of your illness?
Correct.
You did. All right.
Correct.
And so months later, when she asked you, what changed?
She was badgering me.
Okay, good enough. Yeah. I mean, that's a perfectly acceptable explanation and very reasonable. I'm telling every woman that's out there, I'm a man, I have friends, I have buddies, I have brothers, everything else. I know that if you press a man at some point, he's just going to tell you what you want to hear. Well, you better love me, else we ain't here no more. Oh, okay, I love you. That's extortion. Go ahead. You can't extort love out of a man.
I did not press him and I did not badger.
How does he owe you, ma'am?
I was supporting him this entire time.
You all moved in when?
He had no money. We moved in April 16th.
What was the agreement?
The agreement was that I would pay for everything until he got a job and could pay me back.
And how much was that?
So when we first moved in, it was the $1,050. That included the $300 pet deposit for his dog, the $350 security deposit, and then the prorated April rent. Then I also covered the entirety of May, and I covered part of June. And that's what I'm suing for here today because I have not seen money.
All right, sir. What do you say?
She did cover those costs, and I'm saying that I have paid her back almost in full in goods or payments to her credit card.
What was the agreement first? Let's start there. Was it as she said?
Correct.
All
That
right.
that I would go ahead and pay half of the rent, and I would go ahead and pick up the pet deposit since it was my dog, but you must admit you love Samson.
Oh, who couldn't love Samson? That's
All right.
for sure. That's
Go ahead, sir.
There were numerous instances where I would, since I had a job while I was there in Portland, that I would get my card out and I was like, okay, does this count towards rent? Does this count towards deposit? Does this count towards something? And she would inform me, yes, that this counts.
For shared use, the things you're talking about?
It was either for the apartment or food or a date that we were on, and I would ask, does this count? Does this count towards?
Okay.
And
She would say yeah,
and
and
she-
that added to how much?
Altogether, $1,269.
For food, meals at restaurants?
And,
what else?
Excuse me.
and payments that
No, let's separate the cash payments from these items. That's what sounds odd because I don't hear that as part of the agreement.
well, Judge, we were in a relationship and we
Okay, good. That meant what? You're in a relationship, therefore?
therefore some things went unsaid and
And what were those things that went unsaid?
that what I was paying was going towards rent
Oh, it went unsaid as to whether the items you purchased went to rent? Isn't that what you just told me?
That is what I told you.
Okay, then let's not say it today. And you say you received how much in cash?
I only received...
0 or how much?
He did make payments towards me. It was not towards the rent, though.
Okay, that's what we're talking
what I
about
would like to
today. We're
clarify.
talking about the rent.
Yes.
Ooh, y'all a tough couple. Once again, rent that you're suing for today.
Correct.
Did he pay anything toward it?
No.
And you say you paid how much in cash, sir?
In cash,
Yeah.
$40, but I have
How much in cash?
$40, Judge.
$40 was only cash you paid? The rest of it was for items that went unspoken?
In items or payments onto her credit card.
How did you pay the credit card
I
item?
transferred money from my bank account straight to her credit card.
Okay, that's
and I
essentially
have statements of
that's essentially cash, sir. Let me see the statements. Who deals with hundreds or thousands of dollars in cash now? Payment from one account to the other is essentially the same as cash. You so busy playing with word games, that's what got you in trouble already. Playing these word games. You said, trying to come up with stuff to say and then got yourself caught up when you said it went unspoken. Going unspoken is not a contract. That, by definition, means there was no agreement. All right, and when was the last time you notified him that he owed you, ma'am?
I have tried to contact him several times about these
No, I
payments.
said last, ma'am.
That's my fault.
You all getting on my nerves.
I'm sorry.
You don't know your facts. Try it again. The last time you asked him or discussed payment was
August 26th.
All
I have that.
And
right.
what was his response?
He did not respond. He has been ignoring me as
All
I tried
right,
to.
prior to that, when is the last time he responded?
July 11th.
What did he say?
We were meeting at a bank actually to get something
Let
notarized.
me read it, man. Let me read it, ma'am.
His response, right here, was you never told me which bank to meet at.
There you go.
That's...
Sir,
Correct.
what was this response to?
I assume it is to meeting up so that she could get a registered stamp or some sort
Pardon me?
of certified stamp, some sort of stamp saying that I owed her money.
Yeah.
Some sort
and
of letter.
you agreed to meet her to stamp something saying you owed her money.
Correct.
So do you have anything that shows that you paid her?
I showed you my bank statements that are in front of you.
All right.
I told him I was falling for him and that I wanted a relationship, and that's when the I have cancer came out, and he told me he only had probably a couple years to live and that he couldn't be in a relationship with me because he couldn't do that to somebody. That made me care for him even more than I already did.
Plaintiff Kristen Harper says after she started dating the defendant, she realized he was a liar, and she claims he even lied about having cancer.
You look at it and tell me what I have after July 11th. Because that's when this statement was made.
After July 11th, these payments happened prior to the July 11th date.
No, but, so you didn't owe her a dime after July 11th?
After that, I was very upset with her.
No. I asked you, did you owe her any money after July 11th?
It would seem so, Judge.
How much?
I do not know.
You hand me documents showing that, Judge, I paid her off. Here's evidence. I bust you there, so you say, well, I do owe her. Change my mind. You busted me. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,300. Have a good day.
I had a pair of boots at the apartment that Nicole and I had a conversation about, and I told her not to take them. She took them, and there they are.
Yeah, you know why?
I
took
paid
these
for
boots?
them. He's in the military, needed these boots.
And he claims to be in the military, so I don't want him wearing my brother's clothes. How about that?
I picked them up brand new at Goodwill.
Really? No, what about your claim about being in the
I
military?
picked
How
them
about
up.
that? You want to explain that?
I had enlisted in the Navy.
Because I pulled your record. I'm actually in the military. I can't do like that. I pulled it, you never enlisted. Ever.
I enlisted.
No, you didn't.
Yes.